Hello everyone, I am back finally. I've been so focused on work and taking care of all the upgrades we've been getting content-wise. So, like with the accuracy weapons, I've been trying to grind out the seal exploration for the new armor series as well. But I'm back with a new video. This is going to be a beginner's guide part 2. So please bear with me. I'm doing this in the spur of the moment, as I always do, so some of my comments may be a bit unfiltered or unhinged, but feel free to like, subscribe, share, and I will try and make this a more regular thing. Right at the top of the list, we're going to get started with, we've had a weekly reset, and you've been doing your alliance tasks with Tim. Hopefully you've been doing the ARC's record challenges as well. Maybe you didn't take that first place, you're a little bit disgruntled, but don't worry, you've been given your reward, so you have some ARC record badges to trade in. You are looking at what to grab from your item recycle and all your other things that you can trade for every week. So first things first, I've already done my part of my my item recycle, but we will get cracking on with that. So first, if you are watching, we want to open our menu, we want to go to shop. We want to go down to, firstly, the AC shop, because I've already collected it today, but there will, at the moment, I believe there are daily login bonus of 2 NEX cubes. You want to grab those. I've already grabbed mine, so it's not going to flag it. Next, we want to obviously do your free daily scratch ticket. I've already grabbed mine, so this will just basically give you a free check at the refined form January 2025. It's just a free pull on that. So next we go down to our item recycle, and these 6 items there are 5 of these items that you really need to keep an eye on, because they reset every weekly reset. I cocked that up, but I'm not even going to bother editing this out. So, NEX cubes, you can get 50 alpha reactors a week. Be sure to trade these in, especially if you are a free-to-play player. I will circle back to the alpha reactors, like this other alpha reactor option where it says the target special scratch items. We will get back to that. You also want to grab your total of 50 star gems. I can only grab 20 of them at the minute because I still need to grind out. It's only the day after reset for me, so I've not had a chance to farm stuff. Same for your Genesis points, you can get 5,000 a week from this store. And this is every week. On top of that, if you've got any spare NEX cubes, you can grab yourself 3 add preset skill item level 1 things. You've been getting these if you've been running the Vial Urgent Quest. We'll circle back to this at some point further down the line. So we have done our item recycle. We've checked all of those. If we can get anything now, or something to remember for the end of the week. Next, we want to go to Tim, and I believe I grabbed his stuff already as well when I logged in this morning. So, of course, you've accepted your alliance tasks. I've already completed a few of them just from going at it. Next, you want to go to your exchange alliance badges. Now, I would always put a focus on at least grabbing these 5, because that right here you are sat on 2,000 4,000. You're sat here on 7,000 Genesis points a week, and you are also sat on, let me just work it out on the top of my head, 30 star gems a week. Then if you've got any more left over, you can grab all these quest triggers here. Now, some of these are previous urgent quests which no longer show in the urgent quest cycle. So you've got like your Dark Falls Interception, your Battle of Halfia Lake, which is your Dark Falls Aegis. They're the two main ones in Alio. But there used to be other ones, which was, hang on, the different mining rigs. Like Alio used to have one. You also had the Next Vera suppression, so you remember the big dragon from the story, and occasionally pops up in combat sectors. You know, that big dragon dude. This is like a boss version of him. Same with the Command Dolls unit, he was a previous boss as well. You can also get some battle triggers, so one's for the yellow triggers, which is your experience dungeons. The purple, and then the purple ones are your boss runs, where you are fighting the big purple enemies that hit very hard. Don't worry, you can do them at lower levels, just to get rid of it out of the way for the alliance tasks. Or if you prefer to give yourself a challenge, you can use them to obviously take on the higher level versions. You can also grab a gold prim sword, gold prim armor. I would not recommend grabbing the Mark 1 versions because they are so outdated, but the rank 2s, maybe, if you want to. And then obviously you've got all your different pins. I mean, I will actually grab these for once because I've never actually grabbed them in my life. So bear with me on here. I'm not even sure if these are tradable, but hey ho, I mean, it's free accessories, right? So I will use them later. Or I might use them while I'm doing this video. Next, we want to run down to your item trader guy. So here you want to open up the shop menu. When it loads, yeah, there we go. So obviously it's doing the item recycle, the item exchange. This is for 10th anniversary exchange tickets. We've not had these in a long time. If you actually do have any, I would recommend, grabbing something from here. The same with the PSO2 manga memories. I've not seen these in a while either, so I'm sorry if you've missed out on that. But we are going to our Arcs Record badge exchange. You want to grab your star gems. So there is 20 star gems there for me, and then another 10 on top. There we go. I've just earned myself 30 extra star gems. On top of that, you want to go to your item exchange in Steer, and lo and behold, you can get your class X cubes, and you can also get your NEX cubes as well. I like to grab at least the NEX cubes and then grab the rest throughout the week, because these come, like, you can change these class X cubes into the NEX cubes through item recycle. On top of that, you want to go to your Aegis Integra exchange, go all the way to the bottom. You want to grab your Aegis Souls. You want to grab your Demeanors. So bear with me for this. And the reason why I'm telling you to grab those, I will tell you in a second. Let me just get them into storage. Now, the reason why I tell you to grab these is because they are still used in terms of changing into other augments, which we want to go over here. Now we can scroll down, and you can use them to either make the Lux Halfinail here. As you can see, I can make one. Or you can just go straight ahead and just make the regular Halfinails if you want to go down the other route, such as I will do right now, because you can either These days you can either use Lux Health and Ale, or you can make Magis Health and Ale. They both require 5 health and ales, and it's a choice of, do you want more HP or do you want more photon points? But we'll get to that later. So we want to quickly run back to our item trader, because I believe I missed a couple of things. Once again, when it loads, you want to check your Gigastrugment exchange, because if you've been wandering around and killing stuff, you've occasionally run into big purple enemies that are high leveled. Those enemies will drop the Gigastrugments. If you are ever short on customization discs, or you fancy taking on the dual quests from phase 1 to phase 5, you can grab your augments here. You can grab one of your endgame material, or a few of your endgame materials here. So Gigas Might 4, Gigas Precision 4, Gigas Technique 4. You need these for your Gigas and Gland Gigas Masteries. You can also grab your Photon Chunk 2A and 2B, because you will need these for your potentials, for when you're upgrading and making your own equipment. Beyond that, there isn't much you really need to look at. I mean, you could check out the Special Scratch Exchange, but there's a different way to go about that. On top of that, always head over to Arch, because she has some weekly goodies and some monthly goodies. So, yeah, we don't need our icicle cubes anymore, or icicle orbs. We don't need these anymore, so you can gloss completely over those. If you are still playing around with Tech Arts customization, you can pick up these customization discs this week. If you are ever running short on arms refiners, I mean, I've got like 1,000, nearly 2,000 of them, because I grind like an ape. You can purchase up to 20 of the Arms Refiner 2s and 40 Arms Refiner level 1s every week. Then you also need your Foundry caps, which I'm going to quickly grab. More Photon Chunk 2A and 2Bs. You've got a few of the old LC augments. And one thing I've already grabbed this week, which was my Master Fragments. You can get 5 of these a week, and when you get 10 of them, you can make yourself a Master Cube. You need your Master Cube for your Big Daddy level 20 rolls on add-on skills. For those that are trying to max them out or trying to min-max their characters. This is where you can pick up some of your fragments for next to no effort. So now we've got our different tradables and triggers out of the way. Next, we will get on to different ways of obtaining your star gems. This is a free-to-play currency. You can get them multiple different ways. So, bear with me for a moment. But the next way you want to get some SG, there is multiple ways of getting it. The most common way is to be doing your special scratch. I mean, I personally like to save up until I've got at least 10 tickets, and I will just do like 10 pulls on the special scratch here at the bottom. I will occasionally get some helpful materials, such as, let's go down our prize list. We'll go to our consumables. So you may get a stamp that you may have missed. Go to our miscellaneous. You may get some mag forms. You may get, I personally would always pull on it, because you can get your augment success rate of 20%, which is great for free to play people. And your enhancement success rate plus 100%. These are guaranteed great successes whenever you are increasing your weapons or armor, say like from 81 to 82, yada yada yada. You can sometimes pull your 100 star gems, and you can get salon passes and color change passes, which allows you to change the color of your outfits without spending star gems itself. Quite commonly you will pull 20 or 10 star gems every, temple. You will get at least 2 or 3 of these. And whenever you get yourself a select ticket, we will go back to our prize list. Whenever you get your select ticket, I would always recommend get the 100 star gems. Because then even if you didn't do so great in your pull, like you only got like 20 star gems and that was it, but you got yourself a select ticket, use the select ticket, grab the 100 star gems. Another way to get star gems is if you go to your tasks and quests and then you go down to title. I will go across to something that I've not actually achieved yet. So, you can get star gems for getting so many kills in certain level combat sectors. I mean, I will quickly go over to my achieved list. I have done all these. And some of the even higher ones, like, level 85 or like 80, 85 or higher, funnily enough, you will even get an End Master Cube from them. So it pays to put in that little bit of effort, because you'll get star gems, you'll sometimes get Master Cubes. There are, hang on, let me just go over to, hang on, it should be enemies. Was it quests? Yeah, it's quests. Doing the dual quests, if you complete each phase, like say, you complete all of phase 1, you can get yourself a mag form, you can get yourself an idol, you can get yourself a stamp. You can get yourself accessories, you can get yourself vital gauge designs. If you really are someone that plays like multiple classes, this is a great way for you to get some free Master Cubes, because for phase 3, 4 and 5, if you clear them with 5 different classes, you will get a Master Cube. So that is 3 Master Cubes you can get there, on top of SG, vital gauge designs. So I would always recommend trying to knock out as many titles as possible. There is also one other thing, one that I would highly recommend is the personal shop titles, especially these two: your personal shop buyer, your personal shop seller. The buyer allows you to search for specific people when you are buying things off the personal shop. So if someone says, oh, I've got such and such for sale, I'm selling it for this much, or just check out my shop and see if there's anything that you like, this will allow you to search for that player specifically, or any of, like, say, your alliance members, or just your friends in general. Like, you just want to help them out, or they've got something you want and you've been saving up for it. That's what personal shop buyer does. It allows you to search for certain people. Distinguished seller is the other way around. This is so people can find you. So it is, I know it looks like a lot, like, spend 10 million, buy 500 items. Like, you will do this over time. And then the same for the selling. Yeah, earning 50 million from the personal shop, not that hard when you really look at it. The selling of 1,000 items, you can ask a friend. You can put one item up for ridiculous amounts of money so they can find you. And then you can put 1,000 end grinders up for sale at 1k a piece. You will get, and then obviously they've got to buy it one grinder at a time. So it is mind-numbingly boring, but it only takes like 10 minutes. I've done it for a few people, and it requires very little effort, to be honest. On top of that, you also want to make sure that you go to a specific NPC, because she has a handful of quests which are, and listen to me on this very carefully, they are permanent, because they are known as looping tasks. So you want to speak to Ronaldine. Now, obviously mine are in progress. So these 5 quests, I've obviously tripped up here. I did say 4 originally, but there's 5. 1 for each region, and then 1 for all of Halpha. Now, why am I saying take these on when it's only just showing the NEX cubes? It's great in the beginning, but as you get to later stages of these, she will give you star gems, she will give you special scratch tickets, and once you've completed every single step of them, just passively, like, you know, you've just been running around and it's like, oh, I need that. Let me just quickly kill it. And, you know, I've cleared this task. And you've hit, like, all the steps of that. Rather than just completely disappearing, they will just go back to what you've just seen here, back to step 1. And, you know, it's 5 tasks. So you can take these on. And then you can also just make sure you can pick up Tim's tasks every week. And you're going to be doing alliance tasks for the Meseta and the beta reactor, which you can convert. And, you know, it's easy. It is easy ways to make star gems. Now we are coming to the towards the end of this video. So please bear with me. We'll only be here for maybe another 5-10 minutes. I'm covering a lot of info here. If there is any problems, just quickly, you know, rewind back. And, you know, just if you've missed anything, if I was talking too fast, or, you know, I was moving through the menus that little bit too quick for you to keep up, just bear with me. We are coming towards the end of the video. So next we are going to go through your endgame materials and what you can use to dismantle for extra cash. When I said that we are going to be making some extra cash and going and looking at what endgame materials you want to be saving, we will quickly break through everything that we no longer use. It's complete trash. You can just basically, if you've been getting this as you've been farming or just been doing your dailies in general, you can quickly watch all of this, and, you know, it will help you keep up with how to make a lot of Meseta over time. It's not going to be like, you know, a jackpot lottery win in like your first day. This is something you can continue doing over time. So I will start off with the first material. What I would recommend doing is doing this one by one, such as I am. So we want to take care of the first 4 might here. Convert it to cash. Doesn't look like much at the minute, only 330 Meseta. Now I am keeping hold of these twin stats for just in case later content and we start using these again. But I will keep getting rid of the death might, like the death ones, because, you know, there is so many more things that give you so much better stuff. So I'm going to go through these one by one with you so you know which ones you are looking for. Once again, go down to tier 4s. So you want to do the 1, 2, 3, and 4. You want to keep the 5 because we still use those for crafting. And you want to keep make sure that you keep your Gigas stat for and your DP augments, because we are still using them. So next we want to go to technique. Just ignore these 2, and once again 1 to 4, delete them and get some money. Keep everything else. I just completely backed out of this. I'm an idiot. Now you're being farming combat sectors. So we first want to take care of the alts. Everything that you see right here, I'm going to highlight it all. I'm going to convert it to cash. Boom, 5k. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up. Want to do dolls. Once again, I haven't made so many because I haven't killed that many dolls. I've mostly been over at deck space, so it will drop me like a ton of alt souls. Convert these to cash, 1.2k. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up. Next, we want our forms. Now, there is 3 variations of these for obviously different types of enemies. We want to grab all of these, convert them to cash, 1.4, nearly 1.5. Next, we want our outdated wards. Now, keep these because we need these for our Mega Trial and our Giga Trial augments, which are your end game stuff. So convert the shock, pain, burn, yada yada yada. Only a couple hundred at best there, but that's because I've not been receiving many of them. We also want to, hang on, I will want to do one more family of augments, and that is our notes. Now you've been getting these as you've been exploring, like, you know, grabbing your some drop in combat sectors, some drop out in exploration zones. Now I would like to take the A, B, and C, or A, B, C, and D's. There we go. And there we go. That is just over 5k again. Now all these other ones you will be able to keep and use for your high AL demeanor, high ret demeanor, high Kavar domina, and your high Stereodomina. Like, you will farm these like crazy if you stay in the specified combat zone. So Noisel note, you want Newsom Plant. Dexter note, you want Dex Base. Belgan, Belgana Ruins. Lostral, Lost Central. You might be able to put the name to face it, just to kind of help keep track of them. And then finally, you also want to look. Now, I mentioned Giga Strugments earlier. Don't worry about them. I've kept that in inventory because I'm a dickhead. We want your Strugment A, Bs, and Cs. You don't really need these anymore. So once again, convert them to cash, and these are worth 40 Meseta each. So, you know, I'm only converting like what? A total of barely anything, but they are giving me all this. I'm converting 40 items and I'm making 1,600. That is a lot. If you are ever stuck for cash, keep these ones, and you can always convert just one stack of 999 grinders if you are ever finding yourself like 40k short. This is great for the end of a seasonal event when you've been spending all of your seasonal points, and you know you've got say 2 million left over, you've got nothing else left to buy. All you can buy is end grinders. By all means, go spend the seasonal points on your grinders, keep them or convert them to cash. But I always like to keep like a good 3,000 to 4,000 myself, because I will just burn through them upgrading equipment. So your end game materials should, well, by the end of it, your material storage, if you have it, should look very similar to this. Like, you know, you got end grinders, you got recycle badges, you got some half-escape dolls, you got cubes. I mean, I've still got some mission badges because I like to keep hold of them, because you can convert these mission badges into a special scratch ticket. And if you don't believe me, I will do it right now. Go all the way to the special scratch ticket. 10 mission badges is 1 ticket. There we go. If you've got anything from the mission pass that you do not like the look of, or you've had it from a previous mission badge, from previous mission pass, you can use that here to make yourself another mission badge. Once you get 10, get your special scratch ticket. And when I mentioned earlier about other uses for your duplicates, you want to go back up here to your alpha reactors, and that second option I showed you. These are all of your different camos that you're not really interested in, that you will just constantly keep pulling from special scratch. It will be various outfits as well. You need 3 items to make 1 alpha reactor. But considering that these are special scratch items, you will get these from special event seasonal scratches, such as winter, New Year's, spring, Valentine's, whatever. If there is a seasonal event on, you will get seasonal special scratch tickets. And then you can also use your regular special scratch tickets as well to trade for these. Like, not the tickets themselves, but the items that you've received from pulling. We are finally here. It's taken a long time, and I am proud of you for sticking around this long. But now we'll go through your sort of a brief statistic explanation. In other words, I'm just going to break down your stats. So we'll go one by one from your damage adjustment and what each stat is on your augments. So I'm going to quickly hop over to the item details here. So when you are coming across like your different potency types, like sometimes it'll just say potency. That is all 3 types. Other times it will say ranged and tech. I've gone through this on my quick gear guides before. This will only bump up the potencies, or basically attack modifiers, damage modifiers as you will. It will only increase it for those specified potencies. So your potency is your weapon up. So because I have got this for ranged and melee, ranged and tech potency, I don't need to worry about my melee potency for this weapon. So, you know, this has got a big increase. As you can see here, I do more damage with ranged or tech weapons. So yellow, like with the little symbols, it'll be tech weapons are your yellow, your ranged weapons are your blue, and your orange red color is your melee. Self-explanatory. Now, the higher your potency, now keep very, very close with me here. Your regular potency, so your melee, range, tech potency, any combination of the two, or when it says just potency. This is your ceiling. This is your highest potential damage outside of a critical hit. This is the highest potential you could hit with your damage. Now we will go to your potency floor. I have ran into a lot of people with this. Some people say it is a completely irrelevant stat. To a degree, they are not wrong. If you're running with a very, very high crit chance, so you have got Slayer as your main class, or as your subclass, and then you're running with Fixer Fatale, which is only available on weapons. Now, Fatale increases your critical activation rate, or in other words, your critical rate chance. The higher its level, obviously you are more likely to land a critical hit, and it combines with the add-on skills that I previously mentioned in the part 1 of Beginner's Guide. So you can hit, I believe, if an enemy is on the floor with the air quote downed status or broken status if you are fighting a boss. With that as well, with a Fixer Fatale weapon at level 5, you are doing at least a 50% chance of a critical hit. But I wouldn't recommend going down that route unless you can deal, like, you don't run anything else but, you know, Slayer as your subclass. Do not go with Fatale. Well, I wouldn't say do not go. I would recommend not going with Fatale on a Gunblade. With Gunblades, I would always recommend have Termina, which is your critical potency. So it is a potency increase on your critical hits. Your next, and going back to potency floor, all the other classes, so basically you've got Slayer, that's your high crit class. All the other classes really need potency floor, because potency floor isn't your potency when something is on the ground. That's one person that I've heard it from. So, you know, the enemy is laid down on the floor and that's a potency increase there. It's not that. It is not that. Another person has said your potency floor doesn't matter because I'm airborne most of the time. I'm in the air. It's not potency when you're stood on the ground. Your potency floor is your damage adjustment. So with a high potency floor increase, you have a higher low end range of your damage. So right now, my minimum damage output will be at 71.1%. That is my potency floor, and it works out at half of the potency floor increase on your gear. Half is what increases your damage adjustment. So if you've got a potency floor overall increase of 20%, your damage adjustment will be starting at 60% or whatever, because you will have a brief stat on, like, brief breakdown of your weapon where it'll be like damage adjustment. If it's a blank weapon, it'll be, if I remember this correctly, 1 to 3 star weapons are 70%, 4 to 6 star weapons are 75% damage adjustment, so they will always deal at least 75% of your maximum damage with that weapon. But obviously, because they are weaker, they are lower end weapons, they are older weapons, they are going to be massively weaker. And then everything that is 7 stars and higher, so for me, I've got a 12-star weapon, so everything that is 7 stars or higher has a damage adjustment starting at 50%. 100% is obviously you've just hit your maximum threshold. If you've dealt 100%, it is more than likely that you've actually just landed a critical hit, so it's going to be higher. Next, you want to look at your AOE resistances. Now, where can I go for this? Armor. I mentioned earlier about Giga Trial, where it is all, hang on, that's my Lars, where it says here, all down resistance. This means all your different status elements which are caused by elemental attacks, you cannot have elemental damage resistance. I will put that out there right now. But your down resistance or your ailment resistance is free, being on fire, being frozen on the spot, occasionally being electrocuted. One that works slightly differently is blind. Blind with things like, oh, I can't lock on. Wrong. With PSO2, I don't know why they decided on this, but blind increases the cost of your photon arts and techniques. In other words, if you're hit with blind, you will glow green, and all of your attacks that cost your photon points will have an increased cost until it goes away. Then you have panic, which is basically the same as confusion. You've got poison, self-explanatory, and then you have one more which you will suffer from, which is pain. Pain reduces your maximum HP for a period of time. So rather than me being here at like 1529, If I suffer from pain, it could be reduced by 20%, could be reduced by 40%, whatever the modifier is. Now, having the resistance, it doesn't say, oh, I've got a 14.3% chance of ignoring that. It means that it takes a little bit more for me to be afflicted with that status element. It is the accumulation rate, and once the in-game mechanic hits that threshold, it will then trigger you to have that ailment. Guys, that is everything that I was planning on covering in today's video. It is a lot longer than the previous one, but I have gone into much more detail with everything here. I didn't cut anything out. I've done this completely raw. I've recorded the clips and crunched them all together. So forgive me if it is quite long, but hopefully there is a lot of questions answered. And I'm thinking tomorrow I will probably do a live stream answering any other questions like you may have, or something that I've not covered yet. And because I will be streaming this on YouTube rather than Twitch, you can come back to my channel at any time and feel free to watch the live stream again. Like, obviously, being offline, you can skip ahead and see like if there was anything else that was mentioned that wasn't mentioned in either part 1 of my beginner's guide or part 2 of my beginner's guide. I also have a daily cache items thing. So this is where you run around, get all your shiny rocks like your alpha reactors, your snow, your stellar fragments for your daily monies. And hopefully the next video I do will be a lot shorter. Again, I apologize for the length of this video. I did want to cover a lot of topics. And, I love you all. Stay beautiful. Support each other. And I will see you again soon.